I'm sorry, you were interrupted. So you have
I have a YouTube channel, but I also have a Facebook page that all comes from me.
okay.
Wow.
Wow, that's great. So it's Bland County what?
Bland County Helping Hands. And it's on Facebook.
So that's where I thought we would just go to public hearing, and then we'll have to
I have Facebook pages doing that.
and then on June 23rd, at our regular meeting, we're going to adopt it.
It's during the hatch.
I heard of you.
We're going to adopt after the ordinances, after the public hearings on June 5th. So we can get that done today.
I try to do most of the most of them live, so people can see what's going on. Keep it quiet, since we have newspaper.
Yeah. That sounds good.
We used to have Plan Messenger, but
Yeah.
that stopped a few years ago. We miss it. We used to have a direct publication every week.
Yeah.
And it's just the Plan Messenger, then we consolidated with that.
So I just wrote it down so I wouldn't forget to ask you about it.
Where's one of the 6 people?
Yeah, we have to do that.
You want to write them down? You don't have friends that work. When you down here, so when it comes to your helping hands for you to join it.
I don't know that I'll have time. We've got 3 huge projects at the house this week this summer, so that's why I'm kind of avoiding Facebook right now.
That's
Thank you. Sorry.
You're welcome. You can't eat up without eating time.
At the regular meeting.
Hey, before we get started, if anybody wants to have a public comment, please come and sign this clipboard up here. And before the meeting gets started, will you please stand for the pledge and
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ms. Burton, please.
Father, as we come before you tonight to do the work of the county, I pray that our hearts and our minds are free from distractions and the things that we say and the actions we take would be pleasing to you. We ask this in your Son's name. Amen.
And I'd like to call this regular meeting of the Bland County Board of Supervisors on April 28, 2026 to order. Ms. Burton, you have any amendments to the agenda?
Yes, sir, I do. I have several amendments to your agenda. If you'll move down to item number 5, there is a change in the appropriation of funds in the library line and an addition to the rescue squad line. In item number 8, there is an addition to approve the advertisement for the Board of Equalization hearing dates. And then please add item number 14, request the board to approve the advertisements of 2 ordinances. One regarding changes to the age and disability tax credit, and the other one regarding compensation board funded employees.
Members, you got the agenda, you got the amendments. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
I have a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any more discussion? If not, Mr. Costello.
Yes.
Mr. Grosskreutz.
Yes.
Mr. Kelly.
Yes.
And myself, yes. The motion passes. Next will be items 001, 002, and 003. The consent agenda, minutes and bills and payrolls, appropriation and local social services for the allotment, the amount of $15,265.75. Approved the May 2026 school board resolution and appropriations of $1,128,966.42. Approved the school board minutes, payrolls, reports, checks, registers, and vendor payments for March 26, 2026. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion, Mr. Kelly, second, Mr. Grosskreutz. Is there any more discussion? If not, Mr. Kelly,
Yes.
Mr. Grosskreutz,
Yes.
Mr. Costello,
Yes.
and myself, yes. The motion passes unanimously. Okay, boards and commissions, concerns and requests. Circuit Court. Commissioner Revenue. Commonwealth Attorney. County Attorney. Mr. Council, you have anything tonight?
No, sir.
Okay. The Registrar. Not showing that very good. Library. Revenue reports for library, Ms. Burton.
Not at this time. We do
Okay.
not.
School Superintendent. Sure. Please say so.
Good afternoon, Chairman and Board members. This past month, been very busy for the Sheriff's Department. We have a lot of things going on. We did get some good news that we received a LOLE grant that's going to provide a couple computers for our investigators, for them to cover, which will be no cost to the county there. We do have several grants that are out pending right now, and we should get notification in May whether we receive that for some additional equipment and funding there to offset some budget items there if they do come in before July. If not, they'd have to go in next year's budget time there. If you'll see on your charts that was presented to you, our arrest and ticket numbers have been greatly up. Been a very busy spring so far. When you compare our numbers, we was comparing them the other day to some of the counties that population's 18, 20,000 stuff, and we're having more arrests, more tickets, more activity than some of those counties. And some people look at that in a bad way, but it's a very good thing that, things are, cases are getting solved and things are getting taken care of, drug arrests and things like that. We do have our DARE graduation coming up on the 15th of May, which all of you are invited to. The shirts there, the red ones that we presented you, there's the theme on it this year and everything. So it's going real good. The school system's very happy with the way it's going, and a really good group of kids this year. We have a concealed weapons class coming up on the 9th of May. We've had to cap it at 80 because that's as much room as we can find. We're probably going to have to move to the cafeteria to do 80 up here at the school. We're going to do it over here at the fellowship hall. And putting 80 in there is a little bit crowded, so we're going to do it up here at the cafeteria and let everybody stretch out a little bit there. And then we do plan on probably another one coming up in June, trying to do things in case whatever happens in July, people can try to get
Is there still some openings in that?
Do what?
Is there still any openings in that in May?
No, well, there will be. It's full right now, but they'll always about 2 weeks before, or any time right now, moving forward, there'll be people canceling for vacation or something.
That's what
So
people ask me about.
if you need some people, we'll, especially since we're moving it, we can add a few more in there. So,
Okay.
we do have a grant out, and it's part of the regional grant with and for our Southern software. Ms. Burton will probably elaborate a little bit more on that with our 911 system, and then integrating everything from our old system into that Southern software, and everything's going good with that. You may have seen some news articles out of Wythe County where Land was together with PD on a regional grant that the state funded, for new computer systems and everything. So that's going to be a big savings, plus a big help with us getting some new systems and getting some of the old antiquated stuff out of our system on us. Our TAC team has been very busy with, especially on the drone use on Mr. Gray and a couple of others that use the drones. Anytime we have a missing hiker, anytime we have an elderly person that might have dementia or something, might wander off or anything like that, we're putting drones up for anything like that. So it's been a life changer. It really has. It saved some life. We found one here just a few months ago that had been missing for, I think, 3 days or something like that, been out in like that, and he was almost frozen to death, and we got him, but the drone picked him up and was able to get him back to recovery and everything. He's doing well now and stuff. So it's been a really good game changer for our department, for the whole county, other counties that are working with us. It's a good combined effort with everything, helping them when they need to with the drone system and their TAC team. So it's just been a busy few months, and everything's going good. I'll be glad to answer any questions you may have about the reports that's submitted or anything that's going on.
And we want to thank you. You had a incident in my community the other day. They said that the guy wasn't supposed to be there.
Yeah.
Got the different houses, and they said they called the sheriff department, and they said it'd be in 5 minutes. You
Yeah.
come in on both sides.
Yeah,
So they wanted me to thank you publicly.
no, I appreciate that. Thank you. We
Anybody else
appreciate
have
that
any-
much.
Thank you, Jason.
We appreciate y'all's support. Thank you.
Thank you.
Treasurer, your support. Nobody else can. Okay, next we have public comment, Mr. Castle.
Yes, sir.
And these public comments, you will have 3 minutes. At 2 minutes and 45 seconds, Mr. Castle will stand up for us. So you'll know you got 15 seconds left. First, we got Mr. John Owens.
All right, first we'll talk about, wait till I sat down last time, we want to say something. Let's talk about the little comment that over here at Grants, whenever you lied and said county didn't have anything to do with Doughboys. That's the first lie you've ever said to me. County didn't have anything to do with it. Yeah, they did, and then when I said I had pictures, you went away from. Next one though was whenever we was at the EDA or whatever it is, Economic Development Association, said you was there as a private citizen, but yet when the private citizens had to leave, you stayed there. That's another lie. Then whenever you sat down and whenever I sat down, you wanted to wait and say that you knew what somebody's water bill was. When I went up and asked what a water bill was, told me I wasn't allowed to know unless it was my water bill. So that's probably a third lie. So we'll talk about that. Then we're going to talk about how you want me to tell what my name is and where I'm from. But when the lady come up behind me in January when I was here, you didn't ask her to do that. It's called prejudice, or you're a little prejudice there. But that's okay. We're going to talk about how worthless y'all are. Okay, Bryan population, according to the census, fact is, has went down 9.6% on our last census. So that shows how well your EDA does. While Virginia went up 8.2%. Facts. Other fact is, your grant over here with the industrial park, how much money do we waste there? Because you never put nothing in there, you wasted the time. So, kind of bad. Then, the Doughboys, another project where you messed up money. Now you're going to do another one up here with a housing project, you're going to lose even more money. Because you don't know what you're doing, because you're supposed to be like a board of supervisors, or board of trustees, and you don't know what you're doing. Because it's very apparent how much money you lose. Good example is the Indian Village. You spend $296,688, that's what you budget. Then, after 5 years, any attorney would tell you, especially if they were a person that did with business, after 5 years, you put that much money into a business, you close it. You can't keep funneling money through there, but you do. Your auditor that you pay $117,670 sat up here and said everything was great. Well, I don't agree with that. Whenever you put $267,000 in your budget for the library, and we don't have a librarian. So there's what do you want to call it? A salary that's not even there no more, but you're still budgeted the same amount of money. So does somebody get paid twice for doing the job there and somewhere else? I don't think your auditor did a very good job. Auditor will tell you what you want when you pay them that kind of money. Same thing with an attorney. The attorney tells you what you want to hear. Okay, you get $8 million and $875 for grants thereabout, but you spend over $15 million. So grants ain't free. And there's a lot of questions, but I guess because he stood up, I'm gonna have to stop.
You still have 5 seconds.
Okay, well, but I'll add to the questions next time. How you doing?
Thank you, Ms. Owens. Next, Robert E. Hayes.
Good evening to y'all.
Good evening.
Looked at the agenda. First off, I want to start thanking the sheriff and you for standing up for the 2A sanctuary and our constitutional rights. I appreciate it. This is my second time coming in front of the board. Last time I came in front of y'all, I asked to receive or for all residents to get a concealed carry permit. I was told I'd be given an answer. I got gaffed off. No answer. with county just stood up and did it for their residents, so I appreciate everything that they did. Now, we got all these unconstitutional laws coming in front of us, and we're standing, facing that fight currently, and that fight is coming to us in July. And I want to ask the board, when the sheriff says we're a 2A sanctuary, you guys are going to roll on it this evening? Like last time y'all did in the past, we're a 2A sanctuary, correct?
Yes.
Do y'all plan on doing it this time?
Yes.
Okay. How many people here, we got Memorial Day coming up, 4th of July, show of hands, who's going to be out celebrating that? I'm a Marine Corps veteran. I appreciate all the sacrifices I've seen, our forefathers gave, and the ones that are currently in service now, and I know y'all have relatives for that. Now, the important thing I'm getting at is, y'all going to claim that we're a 2A sanctuary. Sheriff's office is only 25% of that. In order to be a true 2A sanctuary, we need all the counties to stand up, swear on the Constitution. We need, is there a representative from the courts here? Commonwealth attorney? Okay, well, and also the judges. Sheriff's office, 25%. State police charge somebody inside of this county, they come to court in this county. Courts need to say we're a 2A sanctuary. We're not hearing it. They can take their charges somewhere else. Commonwealth attorney needs to stand up and say, I'm not charging for it. It's unconstitutional and I stand on the Constitution. Same thing with the judge. So keep in mind, when you say the county is 100% a 2A sanctuary, we need all four pieces. Without that, it's just words. And the county needs to realize that, because when July rolls around and the first charge comes in here, you're going to have your hands full if you process it through, because everybody's expecting it to be a 2A sanctuary. That's all I got to say.
Thank you, Mr. Hayes. Okay, next, presentation, James Ford, VDOT Residential Organization. Please come back.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
I appreciate the opportunity to be able to come and have this discussion with you all before we can have a public hearing meeting later on next month. Just to kind of, I guess, pitch some ideas and see how you all feel about as we move forward with the 6-year plan. Do you all have this? Maybe in front of you all?
It should be printed on the back side of your memo.
It's not very
It's not very good to read. Our photocopier died on us.
I got you. All right, so I'm gonna do the very best I can do to try and explain it. So currently, right now, if you'll look at the top, I guess column or top spreadsheet there. As you all know, several years ago we finished the first section of Trails End. The second section of Trails End is included on this, and that project will be fully funded in FY30, which will be July 1st of 2029. So what's at question is we have the Trails End number 2, and that project is currently on the plan right now, but it's not fully funded. With the funding that you will receive this year for FY32, it will still lack $77,924 to be fully funded.
How much funding are we getting this year?
It's the $145,407. It's a pretty significant increase over the last several years.
Is that for this year, or is that actual monies for this coming year, or is that pushed out?
It'll be pushed out. So it's FY32. So that funding will become available in July of 2031.
Thank you.
So if we were to leave that, so as the plan sits, we're only allowed to have one project on the plan that's not fully funded. So that would be that Trails End number 2 project currently. If we put the funding with it that we received this year for FY32, that leaves that $77,000. So in hopes, you would think next year you would have enough money to go ahead and fully fund that project if we're level funded for the next year. So, so that bottom spreadsheet, where it says, if we were to remove that Trails End project, and I think there's been some discussion about maybe adding the section of Skydusky that's not been built. If we were to add it, and we could add it into sections, because I think there's 2.5 miles that needs to be built. So if we were able to add it into sections, I've kind of broken that out below. And so the plan would look like this. That second section of Trails End that's funded in FY30 would remain on the plan. And then we could put 1 mile Skydusky. And using the funds, so we would remove that Trails End project number 2, which is at the very end of Trails End.
Is that the last mile and a half up the Trails End?
Yes.
Okay.
So-
There's one house up there.
Yeah.
There's 7, and there's 8 houses in the first section, the second section.
Yeah, I thought maybe there was 2, but.
Yeah, so, well, there might be 2. One's a summer cottage.
Gotcha. All right, so if we add 1 mile of Skydusky this year, we could fully fund it in FY32. Using, if we take the Trails End money, that last section of Trails End, and put it on that 1 mile of Skydusky, we could fund it in FY32, which is July of 2031. And then you could add, we could go ahead and probably add the next mile of Skydusky. Of course, it would not be, it would not have any funds on it, but it would not be, it would not be fully funded. So that we could, as we start receiving funding next year, you would put it toward starting to fund that project and finish it out. I know it's a little confusing. It's hard for me to.
So right now, we have enough money in the first section of Trails End to do it, or we still need a little bit more money in the first section of Trails End?
So that middle section, right? So you have enough to fund it, and it'll be funded in FY30.
Okay.
So the last section, that very end,
Yeah.
is the one that would still lack. If you take this year's funding, you would still need $77,924 to fully fund it. So, and I can leave this with you all.
I think we have it if our coffee machine works better.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if that's good, I mean, it may help you kind of look through a little more. So if you have questions, you let me know. I think really wanted to schedule that public hearing for next month.
Which means you would need to, which means you would need to advertise that by early May, about the second week in May. Perhaps you would need to get an advertisement out for that. So we'll just need to know which direction you'd like to head so that he can advertise that correctly.
Okay. We'll see you next month then.
All right.
Anybody else have any questions? Okay, we'll see you next month.
All right, thank you.
I do.
I'll keep talking.
Are you familiar with the bridge on Skydusky?
Yes, the one's been replaced.
Yes, sir.
Bailey.
Have you got a completion date on that? I know they're working on it very steadily right now.
I don't have that,
Okay.
but I can get it. I mean, I just.
I know those people are anxious.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know. Yeah, so I'll do that and send it to Ms. Bird and I'll let you know.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. I'll get it advertised.
Okay, Ms. Burton, I think we're ready for county administrative
All right.
items.
Be right with you. Well, good evening, board members, and those that are joining us this evening. We do have a rather lengthy agenda, so we'll try to get through this as painlessly as possible. You just recently heard from Mr. Schwartz. Once you guys make that decision on what you'd like to do, I'll get with him and he'll advertise it, and the public hearing will be at next month's board meeting. We'll start with item number 4. It's request the board to approve reappointments. That would be Ms. Haley Painter to the WCC board and Ms. Lucinda Layton to the Social Services Board. They were filling unexpired terms. Their terms are now up. So this will be for 4-year terms ending in June of 2030.
Okay, board members, I need a motion to appoint Ms. Haley Payne to this WCC board for a 4-year term expiring June 30th, 2030, and appoint Ms. Lucinda Layton to the Social Services Board for a 4-year term expiring June 30th, 2026. 2030. It's wrong in the I have a motion.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, likewise. The ayes have it.
Thank you, board members. We'll move on to item number 5. This is a request to approve and appropriate funds in the amount of $230,774. Breaks down as follows: to the Sheriff's Office, $50,000; to CSA, which is Child Services, $102,000; the library, who received a donation amount of $5,847; to Blaine County Public Schools for repair of their walk-in cooler in the cafeteria at $52,900; and to the Rescue Squad for payroll support in the amount of $20,000, totaling $230,747. You'll notice that CSA, that Child Services number, is high. And here's why it's high. You don't know until you get into the year how many cases you're going to have that come through Child Services. And this is for services provided to children who don't have any fault in the things that have happened to them. And this is the locality's portion. The state does provide, but locality does have to provide a percentage match. And so this is going to clean up that budget for us.
Okay, board members, I need a motion to approve appropriate fundings of $230,747, $50,000 to Sheriff, $102,000 CSA, $58,47 to Library, and $52,900 to PCPS, and $20,000 to the Rescue Squad. I need a motion.
So moved.
I have a motion. I have a second.
Second.
I have a motion from Mr. Grosskreutz, second from Mr. Kelly. Any more discussion? If not, Mr. Grosskreutz.
Yes.
Mr. Kelly.
Yes.
Ms. Costello.
Yes.
And myself, yes. The motion passes unanimously.
Thank you, board members. Item number 6, we're looking to approve and appropriate a transfer of funds. So to keep in mind that this is not new funds, this is a moving of lines within our budget in the Sheriff's Office and communication software in the amount of $50,000. You heard the sheriff talk about the regional grant that was received from Southern Software. This is really going to allow our dispatchers to communicate seamlessly within the counties that are all using the same software system. So we want to make sure that we're ready for that and we've got things going. So we appreciate the cooperation with the Sheriff's Office and really with the region and how the region came together to secure this funding.
Okay, board members, I need a motion to approve and appropriate the transfer of funds the amount of $50,000 from the Sheriff's Office's selective enforcement vehicle budget to communication equipment.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Have a motion from Ms. Costello, a second Ms. Grosskreutz. Any more discussion? If not, Mr. Costello.
Yes.
Mr. Grosskreutz.
Yes.
Ms. Kelly.
Yes.
And myself, yes. The motion passes unanimously.
Thank you, board members. We'll move on now to item number 7. Way back November 26 in 2019, we had a grand turnout in this courtroom when Blaine County was recognized as a 2A sanctuary. I have the resolution right here. It was signed by Dr. Eric Wortman, and all the board members were in support of it on that day. What we look to do today is to reaffirm that provision of a Second Amendment sanctuary reaffirmation. Not much has changed on the way this resolution reads. It's very similar, and now it's time for us to do that again.
Okay, I need a motion to adopt a resolution affirming Blaine County as a Second Amendment sanctuary county. Have a motion. Have a motion. I have a second.
Second.
Have a motion, Ms. Costello. Second, Ms. Grosskreutz. Mr. Ramsey, last time we had about 500 people in here.
Yes.
The halls were packed and everything, so.
Took a break and went outside and took a picture.
Okay, Mr. Costello.
Yes.
Mr. Grosskreutz.
Yes.
Ms. Kelly.
Yes.
And myself, yes. We are now sanctuarized again.
Thank you, board members, I appreciate that, and I know several members of our community do as well. Item number 8, this is one of the amended items. It's a request for you to approve the advertisement of a public hearing regarding the FY27 budget. It's also the request to approve an advertisement for the Board of Equalization hearing dates.
Okay, I need a motion to request the board to approve the advertisement of a public hearing regarding the FY27 budget. And what else you said?
And the Board of Equalization hearing dates.
And Board of Equalization hearing dates. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion, Mr. Kelly, a second, Ms. Grosskreutz. Any more discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed likewise. The ayes have it.
Thank you, board members. Item number 9 was a struck item. That permit is not ready at this time. Item number 10 is request the board to adopt the local state of emergency resolution in the way of a burn ban. We did go into a state of emergency with the Coordinator of Emergency Services on April the 14th at 4 p.m. due to dry conditions and not much in the forecast. My understanding is that we're going to need several inches of rain to get out of the condition that we're in right now. So as it stands, the resolution for the burn ban still stands right now. But we do need a motion from you to adopt it.
Okay, board members, I need a motion to adopt the local state of emergency resolution. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? The weekend before we did this, I had 3 different chiefs in the county call me and asked me to do this. Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed likewise. The ayes have it.
Thank you, board members. Item number 11 is request the board to adopt the VDOT Signature Authority Resolution. This is also something that happens every so many years. The last time it was done was in 2021. It is time now to do that again. What that does is give me the authority to sign off on projects and things that happen within the department.
Okay, I need a motion to adopt the resolution certifying the local share of VDOT and provide signatures authorizing for Bland County. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
I have a motion. I have a second.
I'll second.
I have a motion, Mr. Grosskreutz, second, Ms. Costello. Any more discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed likewise. The ayes have it.
Thank you, board members. Item number 12 is request to amend the FY27 budget calendar. You know, as you know, that as we move through this process with reassessment and with tax levies and with the budget being adopted, there are several things that the state requires us to do and a time frame in which we're required to do it in. So we had to amend our budget calendar. I did not amend the dates that we meet. The dates that we meet have stayed the same. What is happening on those dates is what has changed a little bit. So you're going to see the adoption of the FY27 budget will happen at your regular June 23rd meeting. So if you all would approve that amended budget calendar, we'll get it on the county website so that folks have access to it.
Okay, I need a motion to amend and approve the FY27 budget calendar for a change of dates as presented.
So moved.
We have a motion. We have a second.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed likewise. The ayes have it.
Item number 13 is a request to waive a permit fee for Bland County School Board in the amount of $30.60. This is for the construction of a school bus stop structure. That's all I know.
Don't know where's that or anything. Okay, we need a motion to waive the fee for the Bland County Board of Bland County School Board for the amount of $30.60. I have a motion.
So moved.
Have a motion. Have a second.
Second.
Have a motion, Mr. Grosskreutz. Second, Ms. Kelly. Any more discussion? If not, Mr. Grosskreutz.
Yes.
Mr. Kelly.
Yes.
Ms. Costello.
Yes.
And myself, yes. The motion passes.
Thank you, board members. And lastly, your last added agenda item is item number 14. We have a few ordinances coming that we need to advertise for. So I need your permission before I can advertise for these changes. One ordinance is regarding the changes to the age and disability tax credit. that we've been talking about in our budget meetings. How do we help our older folks get through tax season? So you all have indicated you wanted to do some changes in those parameters. So we need to advertise those changes, and I'll be working with Mr. Castle on that ordinance. That ordinance has to be publicized for 28, no more than 28 days, no less than 5 days, and has to be advertised twice. So I need an approval to get that going. I also need an approval. We just heard from the state on Friday and again on Monday that comp board funded employees will receive a one-time 2% bonus payable in June. Now, let me be real clear. These are comp board funded employees. It's not every employee. So constitutional officers and their employees, we get reimbursed this by the state. This is not local funding. This is pass-through funding. So I have two requests for you in item number 14. It's approve advertisements for ordinances. One is regarding changes to the age and disability credit tax credit, and the other is the one-time 2% bonus for Department of Social Services and Compensation Board funded employees. That's a mouthful.
Okay, I need a motion to change the age and disability tax credit for this ordinance, and also.
It's just the advertisement of the change.
The advertisement of. And then the second thing is for a one-time 2% bonus for the Department of Social Services comp board funded employees. So I have a motion.
So moved.
I have a motion. I have a second.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? This bonus is state mandated. We have
Yes.
nothing to do with it, to be honest with you, and the state's paying for it. So, Ms. Grosskreutz,
Yes.
Mr. Kelly,
Yes.
Ms. Costello,
Yes.
and myself, yes. The motion passes.
Thank you, board members. You'll find in this timeline that at your special meeting on June the 5th, you will have a public hearing for the budget, for this ordinance for the bonus, as well as for the ordinance for the age and disability tax credit. So that's going to be an evening full of public hearings. That's all I have for you in the way of action items. I do have some updates for you. I was notified today that the grant that my office wrote for the congressionally directed spending that will help us with the replacement of the roof at the high school has moved on to the appropriations round. So that's a good thing. That's a lot of money, and we're really pleased to get that information today. So now we cross our fingers and wait on the next email that comes. The fiber to the home project, we're seeing homes connected popping up around. They're still working in some locations, so please be patient. They were received an extension from the state due to the terrible weather that we had at the beginning of the calendar year. So there was an extension put in place.
Extension goes to what, June 30th?
I believe so.
I think it's June 30th when I start.
We do have a cafe opening next month, which is very exciting. So we'll wait for the announcement of that date and do a ribbon cutting there. And the FEMA grant that we were awarded back several months ago that you all have already approved and appropriated is finally coming into fruition. We received paperwork today, and quote today. So that FEMA grant's in the amount of $242,000. There's a local match to that in the amount of $70,000 that we're required to spend, but that's going to put a new generator at the elementary school. That's going to power the gymnasium and keep the coolers cool and do several things. So that's something that we've needed for a long time. So we're excited to get that project underway. Those FEMA projects take a long time. That's what they told us, and they weren't kidding. Because we're knocking on the door of what, 2 years? 2 years.
This is also be an emergency shelter. That's what this is for.
That's correct. And that's why this is coming through us, is because that is our designated emergency shelter. Any questions for me?
You have any questions? Nope.
Thank you, board members.
Okay. Board of Supervisors time. Mr. Costello, you have anything?
I'd just like to thank everybody for your attendance tonight.
Mr. Grosskreutz.
Just thank everyone for coming.
And Ms. Kelly.
I do want to thank everybody for coming, and we appreciate people coming up and addressing the board with their concerns. That's a big help to us. I see some new faces out there. I see a former supervisor out there. So we appreciate all y'all being here with us.
I want to thank everyone too. Mr. Ramsey, I got one question. When's the DARE program and work? The DARE program.
The
15.
15th, it's gonna be over here on the fairgrounds under the pavilion at 10:30.
Okay.
Yeah, please come in.
I also want to thank Mr. Ramsey and his department. They had fish day at Rocky Gap Saturday. And I think they had 116 kids for the mini beers signed up. Ms. Ramsey's group was over there helping out. In fact, they had some deputies cleaning fish. That's a terrible job. They had some deputies that were cleaning fish. You weren't there, Mr. Easton, were you?
No, sir.
Right tickets.
Oh. Mr. Cody, he saved the guy from drowning. He was out in water. He saved his father-in-law from drowning out in water. Okay, and I want to thank everybody, and we'll be back next month at the same time. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
A second.
Second.
A motion to second. All in favor say aye. Aye. We're adjourned.